morning, everybody. I'm Matt Bowen, and I've got a ton of information for you. Try to jam in here in an hour. This is going to be a feat, but we're going to give it a shot. Basically, what I do is I run a trading room 3 weeks out of the month, and it's the trend trading room. I have for you today something a little bit different for those. Today's event's basically going to be scheduled for the new trader, the beginning trader, somebody that's trying to get, they've funded their account, they're just starting out, they're like, okay, they finally realize that this is not as easy as it looks. And it's not, it's all sunshine and rainbows that everybody pumps it up to be. It can be, and it will be, but you first got to take care of some basics, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to show you the basic market structure, and when you start trading with a market structure so that you're reading the price action, you're starting to read the price bars, your trading will turn around. You'll go, you'll stop the bleeding, basically, is what most people, that I talk to throughout, their trading career. The first part of it's the hardest step. A little bit of background from me. I've been in the business over 30 years. My grandfather got me started when I was 12 years old. He was a ticker tape reader. I've worked for 3 different major software companies that are in the trading business. I've worked for a hedge fund overseas in England. I've worked for a number of different software builders. One of the last ones, major ones, was actually bought out by eSignal. There's a company called Advanced Get Trading Techniques. Tom Joseph was the owner at the time. He ended up selling that to eSignal back in the year 2000. It's taken me all over the world. I've gone to just about every nook and cranny of the world to watch different traders, see how different people work throughout the world on their trading. And what's interesting is that you can go just about anywhere, and it's all human psychology. They're really doing the same thing that we're doing. No one's really got a leg up, or they've got the the unique approach. It's kind of funny. You go to Japan and you'll see people we're all over the Japanese candlesticks, but over there they kind of look at you like, well, what's the big deal? Had a lot of fun in Australia. Some really good traders down there too. Pacific Rim, Singapore, did a lot in Europe. Had a lot of fun in Europe. But basically, it doesn't matter where you go in the world. Everybody's doing the same thing. We're looking at charts. We're looking at psychology. We're looking at market structure. And we're taking trades, based on that structure. But one of the things I've realized that over the years is most traders are all over the board. They're in a constant discovery mode. They're looking for this indicator. They're buying that indicator. They're buying this system. They're going to this show. They're going to that. It's nonstop. The guy gets in there and he's got 3 days of bad run, and he's like, well, I got to get a new system. I got to get a new indicator. It's like da-da. This constant discovery mode never ends. And the problem is you can't gauge what's working and what's not working when you're in that constant discovery mode, because you're switching your indicators and you don't know whether you have no track record for them. You can't track the performance of it. So it becomes this mind game, if you will, and it turns into a big black hole. And I tell people, most of the traders that I've met that have been successful, that come out the other side, I asked them, what was your story like? Let me know, I said, do you go through, and basically everybody comes out the same. You end up going through trader's hell before you find the light at the end of the tunnel, and you finally figure out how this game, or the market works. Sometimes I like to say game because some people look at it as a game. Other people, it's, I like to refer to it as a business because that's what it is. It really comes down to 3 things. what's the market telling us? Are we making higher highs, higher lows? You know, basic market structure. Second thing, trend identification. You know, which way are we going? We can use that from what the market's telling us. And then the third thing is money management, because you can get the first two right, but if you get the third one wrong, forget it. You're never going to make it in this business. It's going to be 2 steps forward, 3 back, maybe 4 back. You know, and you're just going to see your account, instead of having a left to right upward swing, it's going to be inverted. It's going to be going, you know, you're going to fund it at $5,000 and you're going to slowly watch it drain. And I've been a futures broker in the past. So I did that in the late 80s. I watched people, you know, basically walk in the door with a $20,000 account, and 12 weeks later they had blown out, not only blown out their account, but they owed us money for a margin call. So I've seen the ugly side of this business. And it can be really ugly if you don't control the risk. The one thing that, you know, my motto, if you're in my trading room, and I'll tell you this over and over again, you've got to control the downside, because if you don't, it'll destroy you. You know, you'll be on your hands and knees before you know it. But the flip side to that coin is, this business can make you, it's a game changer for a lot of people once they learn how to play it. And I've worked with a lot of, I've had the unique experience of helping people get to that level. I don't take the credit for it. It's their system. It's their entries. But most of the time what I find is that their exit strategy, their money management, is so upside down, no matter how good the entry point is, they're never going to make it. They don't give their system a chance to grow, because they're just basically sabotaging themselves. So instead of me doing a 1-hour rant here, let's dig in here. Let me go through the basics with you, show you what I've got, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, well, if this is so good, why are you selling it? If you come into my room, the charts that you see on the screen right now, this is what I use on my own trading. This is my own trading platform that I use. It's called Photon Trader in Chicago. It's a great platform. It gives me a couple of unique pieces of information that I can't get otherwise at different software companies. Second thing is the execution is just phenomenal. It's really, really good. And Damian Pavlagos, who owns Futures Pat in Chicago, is married to Linda Raschke. She's one of the traders that was featured into what is that book? Market Wizards. So if you get a chance, it's a great book. Definitely read it. Okay, let's dig right in. Here's my chart. Here's what's going to tell me what to do, where to do it, how to do it. What I am going to go over today is called the subway trade. And one of my good friends, Ted Posobiec, who Dan had mentioned earlier, is a phenomenal trader. And we have a Skype chat room where we invite, I should say invite, but we have our fellow trader friends in the room. And we kind of horse around, and once in a while we'll bring a new trader in there and come up with a strategy for that person so that they can build their account very slowly and methodically, so that they can control the downside, but yet profit, you know, take small chunks out of that. And that's primarily what I've got here. I've got 2 things on here. One of them is a series of moving averages. Those are 22 moving averages that I use. I have them on all my charts. Basically, it's order flow. There are patterns in the marketplace, and if you look at this enough, it will basically tell you what it wants to do. You just have to read it correctly. There's no guesswork involved. Sometimes the markets won't do what you want them to do, but you know, that's just normal. You're dealing with human psychology and crowd psychology, and things aren't going to go your way every day. All right, so basically what I've got here is the moving averages, you can see a series of 22 moving averages up here. One of them, they start from a 30-period EMA all the way up to a 300 EMA, okay? And this is a 1-minute chart. So I do trade off a tick chart, or I shouldn't say tick chart, but range charts, a 1-minute and a 5-minute. So on my screen, I need those three. Those are on my dashboard so that I can see what's going on and what I need to do. Now, one of the things that I do is I look at the market structure. And these three lines that you see right here are basically pivot points outlining what the market's done in the past and what I should do moving forward. So there's going to be three of them. There's going to be a short-term, intermediate, and a long-term. And those can be described and color-coded as short-term is going to be blue. You're going to see that move around a lot more. The red is going to be a intermediate pivot point. These can also be used for stop losses placement. And the black ones, okay? So we want to stay in the black. That's a good thing when your trading account is in the black and not in the red, all right? So what we're going to do here, I'm going to make this like bulletproof simple, okay? I gave this to my daughter, who's a senior at Bowen College, and she picked this up in about 5 minutes. So it doesn't take rocket scientists, you know, to figure out how to trade. It basically comes down to money management. Find a good entry point. But over the years, I've worked with a number of very, very good traders, and one of my mentors basically said, listen, you're in here working with all these indicators and going back and forth, and he said, you know, by the end of the day, you're going to stick screwdrivers in your head because you're trying to find overbought, oversold situations. You're doing counter-trend trades. He says, why don't you follow the market? Listen to what the market's saying. I'm like, what the hell do you mean by that? He says, listen, watch the pivot points, look where the market's going, where is it bouncing from? Look at the stages, look at the long term, look at the short term. So what I did was I get this color coded up, and it's proprietary for the people in the room. So I basically created this for the people in the room so they could see the order flow and the structure of the marketplace. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a system, and we're going to call it the subway trade, all right? Basically what this is going to do is it's going to go in there, and it's, I hate the word scalping. It's just, it's like, it's got such a negative connotation, you know, scalp, you know, I don't know, it just rubs the wrong way. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to automate this, okay? Over the years, one of the things that I've found with most traders, not everybody, with most traders, most guys that are consistent and, you know, discretionary traders that have made it on their own, they know how to manage their trades. They don't have a problem moving their stops when they need to. But for beginners, it's an absolute must. And it's the hardest thing they have. You know, they get into a trade and they treat it like a hot potato. They're like, oh, what the hell do I do with it? You know, and they can't hold on to it. Because it's like the emotional aspect of sitting in a winning trade. You know, it's like, wow, you know, I've got $100. I better take it. You know, otherwise somebody's going to steal it from me. Okay? You go through a whole myriad of different emotions when you're in a trade and you don't know how to manage it. And it's very easy to just slide your mouse over to the, you know, get flat button and get yourself out. And then, you know, you feel good and you pound your chest and, you know, you're like, oh, yeah, I got a winning trade. Okay, 30 minutes later, you know, you sold the market at 47.80 and then it's popped up to 48.30 and you're thinking, why did I sell it? You know, and then now you're starting a whole nother, you know, mixture of sabotage. So you don't want to do that, you know. Listen to what the market's saying. Follow what the market does. So what I did was, and you guys can use this, okay? You guys can use this. Now the thing is, you're going to need the pivots to do this, okay? So I'm going to have somebody say, well, Matt, what are the pivots? Can you give me the parameters? Yes, that's part of the room, you know? That's why, you know, I'm not going to give away 30 years of experience and, you know, it's just you're going to have to go out there and do this like I did. But if you come into the room, it's yours, you know. I'm glad to give it to you. People that are in my room know I'm a very generous person, especially with my time. I don't like to see people lose money. I did it for a number of years. It's not a good feeling. I take no pride in watching someone go through a struggle. It sucks. Life's hard enough. You don't need to deal with that, you know. So what I'm doing here is this is very, very simple, okay? Just if you want to write this down, you can. We're going to go for a 5-tick profit. 5 ticks, okay? Not a whole lot of movement. 5 ticks. And we're going to use a 5-tick stop. Now you're saying, Matt, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. You know? How the hell is that going to work? Okay, very good. But we're going to use 2 contracts, okay? And even if you use one, it still comes out ahead. You still have a positive expectancy. And I'll show you that later when we get into the money management. But here's the deal. You're going to risk 5 ticks to make 5 ticks. You got 2 contracts. Now, here's the catch. The second contract is going to be a runner. So if the thing wants to blow and go, you're going to be on it and you're going to be riding it, okay? Because most of the time when you get onto a trade, it's like a bucking bronco. The first thing it wants to do is throw you off, okay? So here's the deal. When we do catch one that really wants to run and wants to move out, bam, we're going to ride it on that second contract. And I'm going to show you this because I put it into Market Replay and loaded it up. All right. Now I have it pre-built for 6:30. We'll just start everything at 6:30 in the morning. Some people get up earlier. You could start earlier if you want. That's fine. If you did start earlier, you got up to a really good start because there was a trade right over here. You can see the black line. Okay. Now again, let me reiterate. We're not trading the blue and the red line. We're trading the black line. So basically, the way you're going to set your chart up is this. I'm going to open up the ATM in NinjaTrader. Okay. I can't do this in a live environment because I have to replay it. I have to go through and fast forward, and I can't fast forward the market because we could sit here for an hour and it won't even trigger off a trade. Sometimes it'll do that, and then it'll fire off 5 the next hour. We'll go through and look at some live markets to see. It looks like it has fired off. I'm just checking in here in the background. I can see a couple of things. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to blow up this screen. I'm going to slide this over. So this will give you a better view. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the ATM strategy. And here's where you can see I have 2 contracts. 1, 2. You can see the first one. It's very simple. 5-tick stop, 5-tick target. You know, it's either going to make it or it's not. Second contract. Here's where it gets a little different. Okay, 5-tick stop loss. That happens to be on the same thing on the first one. Second one, profit target, 50 ticks. You're thinking 50 ticks? I thought it was like 5-tick scalp. Okay, we'll get into that. You'll see it in a second. All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to open up the custom and you're going to customize the stop strategy. So it's going to work in steps. Okay? You're going to have a 5-tick stop loss. Frequency is every 5 ticks. It's going to reevaluate. Okay? And the profit trigger is going to move up every 5. All right? So it's a 5, 5, 5. How we came up with Subway, it's kind of an inside joke. We were looking at trades and, you know, Ted was talking about CO. I think at the time we were looking at the NASDAQ or something, but we were going for 5 ticks. We were trying to get this guy just to make 5 ticks and then get out. Well, it works, and, you know, and I started to tinker with it, and I said, you know what, I got an idea with some money management. I said, let me see if I could, you know, play around with this thing and see what we could come up with. And when I started testing it out, it was kind of unique, was when I threw a runner on there with the second trade, it really changed the dynamics of the system. And I'll show you that in a minute. But first, let's go through this, because I want to be able to give you an idea of how this thing works. Okay? Now here's the market replay. I've got it already set up. So what we're going to do is, I am going to speed this thing up because otherwise we'll be here for 3 hours. So what I'm going to do is, when we get a black line come in here, we're going to trade off of that line. And I'll show you what it's going to look like. So right now, there is a setup. We can buy this. We can sell that. All right. And I'll show you how to do that. So you just come over to your screen, and one tick above there, 48.25. We'll put in a buy stop. And we'll come down here. All right. So now you've got basically a bracket around the market. So if the market's going to go anywhere, it's going to have to trigger one of these steps. Otherwise, it's just going to bounce around in a vacuum. And quite frankly, if everybody wants to get their pistols out and shoot each other inside that range, I'm pretty good with that. You know, I don't want to get involved in that setup. Now, if the market dynamic changes, which it always will because it's in this constant state of flux, you'll see that. All right, so we'll move forward here. And let the replay kick in. I've got a lot of stuff running on this machine. I've got like 2 data feeds. I've got the MarketFest thing running. I've got market replay running. So, all right, here we go. You can start to see the bars are starting to update. All right. So I'll speed this up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, as soon as the black one comes in here, I'll stop it. All right, I'm going to stop it. Okay. Now, did you see that? See that black bar come in there? Okay. Previously, the black bar, there's a black bar underneath here. Okay. That's why I put the stop there. The stop doesn't need to be there anymore. Now we need to raise that, lower that stop. Okay, there's the pivot. Put it one tick above there. All right. Now I realize some of you are saying, well, the market's continuously moving. I might not be able to get that trade off. That's correct. You might not get it off. And when a trade moves through it, guess what? You don't get to take it. So you're correct in your assumptions. I'm just trying to use this for demonstration purposes so that you can see how it works. Okay. I know somebody's going to throw a knife at me with this. So I'm just telling you up front. All right, so market continues, and then let's watch what happens. And I'll run the replay on, I have yesterday's, and I have Monday's. So I downloaded the CL for that. All right, let's speed this up. Once I've identified the trade, I can speed this thing up. So this is what's great about market replays. You can test out a lot of stuff like on the weekends and not have to sit there and guess whether something's working or not. Okay, so it rolls up, it hits the first target, right? And then what did it do? It automatically moved that stop to break even. Okay. Now, if the market's going to run, it's in a position that it'll capture it. If not, it'll just stop out, and then we'll go look for another stop. All right, it moved up another 10 ticks, so it moves my stop on the second contract up. The first contract's already been peeled off. You're sitting in the second contract. All right, it went up another 5 ticks, so it moves the stop up. Bam. All right, now what am I doing? I'm going to immediately come back up here, put another stop in here. I wonder if Mike's in this room. Just be seeing 86, dude, 86. I know, Mike. Nothing works at 86. So. the rules are, you got to take the trade, know what the rules are, you got to take them, bottom line. No one knows what the future is going to bring. Everyone, everyone tells you they know what's going to happen, but, trust me. I've been in this long enough. There's not anybody out there that knows what's going on. Everybody's got an opinion and can make a prediction, but if you stay in this business long enough, the market will humble them as well. I can remember back in 87, 86, 85, Bob Prechter, Elliott Wave theorist, he wrote a newsletter. Everybody was watching this guy. Everybody was swearing by Elliott Wave. And, predicted a market run up, and then there was a crash in 87. Boom. And he said that the market was just going to sell off, and this was the end of the world, and a year later, bam, we're right back at new highs. So, but he had a good run for a couple, like 2.5 years. Henry, why don't you show live instead of, because I don't know how long it's going to take us to get a setup, Henry, and it's easier to show the market replay because we can speed up. You can see how these are actual bars taken from the market on Monday. Now again, if you're trading this and you're looking for something that's going to get you 25 ticks, $250 a day, you can trade it all day if you want to, but a lot of people commute. They're not around the markets from, say, 9 o'clock to maybe 5 o'clock. Okay. See how that thing keeps moving up, and then what are you going to do? You're going to put your stop right back up there. That's got to go 1 tick higher. You guys get the idea of this? Maybe you want, does it work all the time? No, it does not work all the time. It just took a $100 hit right there. See that? I'm just following that black line. All I'm doing is following the black line. When it says it's got a new pivot, buy the high of that pivot. I'm following the market's movement. The one other thing that you'll notice is that when you get a black bar in there, these blue lines are starting to move up. Your pivots are starting to move up. Okay? It's impossible for that black line to move up, keep moving up, unless the structure is still in place. This is what we look at in the room. I show them what the structure is. I used to do it by hand, and then what would happen is the market would start moving, and the markers that were on the charts, the chart would slide to the left, and my marks would be over here and the prices over here. It got to be a pain. So I said, all right, I've got a solution for you. I had to get the Ninja Trader running so that they could see it, because they cannot do it on Photon. They don't have a tool in there to do it. So basically, it's very, very simple. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult. I don't have any other indicators up here. I'm not clouding my judgment with anything. I'm just looking at the structure. And you're probably saying, well, what's the purpose of the moving averages? The moving averages are also telling a story, because once these things start to turn over, these short-term averages, you'll see this is the first cross trade getting ready. This target up here is actually a first cross trade setup. All right, we didn't make much out of that, but you get the point. You see what's happened. So I had a couple of losing trades. You get right back to where you started. So sometimes you'll have a skip. You know, it'll have some trades that don't work. Now, here's something I will warn you. I've had a couple guys in the room trade it on a different platform. Okay, not all platforms are the same. Okay, some platforms are not designed for short-term trading, or what we would call scalping. I'm not going to mention any names and get have a lawyer phone call me, but not all platforms out there are equal. Just to let you know that. I have people in the room that use NinjaTrader. I have people in the room that use the full-time. I have people that use several different brokers through NinjaTrader. And that's a good setup. It works. Let's see, we start at 6:30. If you look down here at the time, it's basically, what is it, 8 o'clock? It's 8 in the morning. So we're not putting a lot of risk out there in terms of margin requirement on this is probably, depends on your broker. Most brokers are $1,000 a contract. Lori, do not understand the 5-tick stop and target. To me, 5 ticks on a chart is 48, 40, and when would be 48.05 target, 47.95 stop. Okay. If you enter at 48, your stop is going to be at 47.95. Once the market moves up to 48.05, then the stop automatically, the stop will move to break even on the second contract. Okay, so like watch this one. We'll slow it down so you can see it. What happened? We got triggered into a long. The trade has not hit the first target, so you still have an open. You have an open trade that has not been stopped out, and it hasn't hit a target. So the entry is right there at 38. The stop is at 33. Does that make sense? Craig, what time frames does it work on? You can work it on, got people that use it on a range chart. You know, sometimes you want to look at just like the last hour of CL, which is a really good time to trade. Say again, please, later. Okay. Basically, what's happened is you've got triggered long at 38. The trade has not hit the first target, and it has not been stopped out. So you enter the trade at 38, 48.38, because the high on this bar is 48.37. So you're looking for a breakout, okay? All right, now what happened was is it hit the first target, and the stop that was down here at 33 just got moved up to break even, where you entered the position. So what it's doing is it's protecting. If the market comes back, it's going to get stopped out on the second contract at break even. It's going to bank the 50 bucks or 5 ticks that it made on the first contract when it hit the target, and the second one's going to go to break even. What's the black line called? A ninja. What's the black line called? A ninja. These are there to hit the second target, so now it moves the profit for the second target was hit, so then the stop gets moved up 5 ticks. So now at this point the trade's going to make $100 no matter what. So it'll make, now it'll make 150. Now it'll make 200. see, the key to this is you've got to know when to do the buys and when to do the sells. If you get that, that's the information that you're buying. You know, anybody. All right, so you get out of that setup, and now you know you were looking to make 25 ticks, and you ended up making 52, and 8:22 in the morning. Okay, is what that's no, it's 8:22. So less than 2 hours, almost 2 hours. Do you understand how that works? Do you understand how the stops get moved? Now, here's the thing. I am not touching the mouse at all. When this thing triggers in, I'm just sitting there watching it because the market's going to do what it's going to do. I'm not moving my stop around. I'm not using 100 indicators to gauge the pressure of the buying and selling. I'm not looking at a price ladder trying to figure out what the hell the orders are saying, whether it's, you know, buying or selling. You know, I don't do any of that, okay? I have access to that, okay? I have market depth. I can come over here. I can put all this on here, you know, with the best of them. I can see all the price orders coming through in CL. I can see all that, okay? But unless you've got a set of Google goggles, you know, that you can put on there and have X-ray vision to tell you whether this is this going to be up in 5 minutes or is it going to be down in 5 minutes, okay? I don't know, you know. I've been sitting here looking at these price ladders for probably 15 years since they came out, 97. You know, when even the S&P came out. You know, 15 years later, I still don't know what the hell it's telling me, you know. Other people report that they can see it, that they know how to read it. Okay, good. You know, more power to you. I don't need it, you know. What I need is I come over and look at the price action on the chart. I can see that this bar and this 1 minute range opened up at 48.29, and I can see that it closed at 48.35. That's concrete factual knowledge. I know that the market did that. This is factual knowledge too. These are orders. But do you know which way they're going? Can you add up all this stuff in your head? I sure as hell can't. You know, there are programs out there that build blocks based on those. I've read those. I've loaded those up. My brain doesn't operate that way. You know, it would be like, Ray, I can read them. You're just not as smart as me. Thanks, Ray. No, I've got friends in here that like to give me trouble, but you know, the thing about it is you've got to simplify this. You've got to find something that works for you, and is the reason I came up with the stop strategy and the money management that automatically moves it is so that once you identify the setup, if you can follow that black line and put your buy stuff above there, because all you got to do is look at the angle that the line's moving at. Okay, if it's moving up, the market structure is in a buy mode. The market is trying to go higher. So that's what these lines are doing. They're telling you what the structure is. They're telling you what the market wants to do. Okay? Like if you come over here, where's my little drawing pen? All right? Just look at these pivots. Okay? Look at what the market's telling us. What's the market doing? Are we making lower lows? No, if I was making lower lows, the market would look like this. Instead, the market's looking like this. Does that look like a staircase to you? Okay? Why in the hell do I want to try to short that? I mean, I might as well just get a screwdriver and stick it, insert it in my head, you know? Because people will sell, oh, I have an overbought indicator. It tells you exactly where to sell it short at the very high, and you can get the exact tick. Really? Come on. You can't be that gullible, you know. I mean, if you're falling for those traps, then I would tell you, just don't trade with any real money until you can laugh at that statement. Because that's what you have to do. You have to be able to laugh at this stuff, okay? Now, before I move forward, any questions? I know you probably got questions, you know. Let me know what they are. Mentor me. Alan, you'd be more than welcome to come into the trading room. I mentor people in there all the time. I've got several students in this room that they come in there. I haven't been in there all week. They're probably, I don't know, you guys missed me? I'm not feeling the love. Diane, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. You guys want to go over a different day? You want to see this run on a different day? You know, I loaded it up. The thing we got to look at, we got to remind ourselves is that, you know, we've got till, I think, hey, Dan, how are we working on time here? What do I have? Joe, can you use this with TradeStation? Yes. You can use it on any platform that'll plot out the that'll make the plots. What's your normal success failures? You know, it ranges, Diane. It ranges from, I mean, it'll work 79%. It'll work 63%. It'll work 72%. Every day's different. Every day's different. How does it work on a chop day? Well, yesterday would have been a chop day. We could fast forward that. I don't know, stand in the room. I didn't hear him. I think we've got till 10:30. It's like these classes are like, I mean, I'm supposed to take 3 hours of information and do it in an hour. It's like, huh? What? Come on. I mean, because literally this takes a day to go through so that you really, really get it. And we haven't even got to the money management stuff. What are the straight lines? Those are pivot points, Vicky. Can you please put up the company on the website before you leave? I got it here late. Vic, no problem. We'll do that. These tools are available with the Ninja. Yes. Yeah, we give them to you. All you got to do is sign up for our trading room. You come into the trading room, all the tools are given to you, basically. I don't sell anything. I'm not here to sell indicators or systems. You know, come into the trading room, we'll make money. That's the way we get paid. You guys come into the room, I'm not going to give away what I've taken 30 years to build, but if you want to come in the room, I'm more than willing to teach you. Because one of the things you're going to learn about this business is you can go to as many free webinars as you want to, okay? And you get what you pay for. When you go to a webinar, you're going to walk away. You got a couple of ideas. You go in there Monday morning, put them to work. You know, probably get all shot up and torn up and got cuts and you end up bleeding. How many times do you keep doing that? You know, is that the process? You know, because you buy. The problem is you're in this business, and I don't want to sound like a negative Nelly here, but I've been in this business for a long time. I've been in the software side of trading software, systems side, programming side, from TradeStation, you know, all the way through to standalone stuff. You know, before the Ninja stuff even hit the marketplace. there's a lot of people out there that will take your money. I mean, they're going to sell you dog crap in a paper bag, basically. You know, you're not going to know that, so you load it up and start trading it. You know, bottom line is, this is a business, okay? You got to treat it as a business, otherwise it will rob you blind, you know. You know, you'll wake up one day and you'll be like, wait a minute, where did my account go? What happened to my account? My account's, you know, I've been slowly draining this thing. And that's basically what will happen. Yeah, Manny, we're going to get to that. I just want to make sure I'm covering some of the basic questions so that they're not going, you know, trying to figure out what it is that this thing's doing or how it's doing it. Let's go real fast where we can go to, so you can see some more of this. And again, these moving averages, they get used for different setups. I use them for different setups in the room. One of the setups is a pullback to the green line, okay, which is right over here. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is effective trade. What do I need? Okay, let's jump to, I gotta get out of this. Result drawings, there we go. All right, go to, I'm gonna change the date on this. Let's go to 6/30. Speed this up. Philip, you are on Market Replay. Is that a separate piece of software, or is it linked to your platform? It's inside the Ninja platform, Philip. Or Philly, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Sorry, I joined a little bit. Can you provide details on Trading Room again? We'll do that in a second. In fact, why don't we go through that? Well, we can go through these pretty quick. This isn't going to take that long. So basically what we're looking for is, what do we have? You're going to bracket the market off, right? All right. Speed it up here. We don't have all day. Whoa. That's a little too fast. Yeah. So this is, what is this? This is yesterday's price action. So this is 6:40 in the morning, crude oil, yesterday's price action. What to trade the most? CL, ES. Patrick, you can do it on, you know, I trade CL just because you can trade it all night long. If I want to come in here at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can trade it. You could trade ES, like if you're using like a range bar or something, but if I put it up on a regular 1-minute chart or something, it just, I have to wait till the morning hours before I can trade it. But, you know, CL, you can pretty much trade it. You can trade it at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night if you want to. Whoa, there we go. All right, so we got a market direction. Notice our pivots. You see what's going on with the pivots? Pen. Blue pivot. Blue pivot. Blue pivot. See how it's making higher lows or higher highs? I'm sorry, higher lows. All right. Now, I do have a red pivot right over here. And have one here. I have a bottom pivot here. But see, this low is higher than this one. And then I have another one over here that came in. So basically those red pivots, even though I haven't made a new high right here because of this one, I am making higher lows. So the market's telling me that it wants to go higher. It wants to. Whether or not it will, that's another story. But as of right now, that's what it's doing. Whoops, gotta put our stop. Gotta move that stop down, so I'm gonna put that at 70. Andres, I have not run this as a mechanical system. Inside Ninja, I'm not a programmer. I just tell people to, here's my idea, go program it. All right, so what do we need to do? 78. Got a new pivot here. I think that's 78. Yeah, 78. Speed this up a little bit. Okay. See that? See that black bar? All right, so what do we have to do? There's the low 50. Stop got moved. All right. I'm stopping this because I got this thing running so fast. I don't want to miss a trade. Now again, all I'm doing is setting here. I'm sitting here and watching the black pivots. I'm looking at the order structure and I'm trading the order structure. I'm putting the orders in. After the order gets triggered, I don't do anything. I just sit here. Yeah, Vic. How are we looking at time, Dan? Are you guys liking this? Is this something that you guys, I mean, I don't know what kind of group I have here. You know, you guys been trading for 6 months? You guys been trading a year? You guys been trading 5 years, 10 years? I mean, this is, when you come into my trading room, this is what I do. I just look at the market structure, and I let the market tell me what it wants to do. If it wants to go high, you know, it's going to take out these pivots. There's two pivots right over here. It's got to take these pivots out if it's going to go higher. And if it's going to go lower, it's got to take this pivot out. So anything in between here, I am not going to trade this. I see people going in here, and I got overbought, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to sell this. I'm not doing a damn thing in between those two lines. You know, if somebody else wants to blow their foot off or blow their head off, that's their business. I'm not doing it. I spent enough years doing that stuff. I am not going to, you know, I'm not doing it. Bam. That sucked out a profit. Please tell us how you really feel. Bill, anybody that's been in my room will tell you, when I lose on trades, I'm not a happy camper. I let it all come out. I don't sit there and hide behind the tree. Anything I'm feeling, it's in the open. Robert, won't let you buy and sell at the same time. That's because you've got to turn your ATM strategy on. Show you how to do that. Let me stop this for a second. Go to Chart Trader Properties. Change this. It probably says Select Active. You want to change it to Keep Selected. And then hit Apply. All right, let's continue. Yeah, Dick, I'm going to get you a new one here. I just want to get this thing. I want to get this thing to get 25 ticked, and then we'll go right in there, and I'll review everything with you. Get your link so you can get signed up. A wise man once said it, I ain't chasing the dog down the street. Thanks, Alan. Good to see you. Yeah, that's Alan's one of the members in the trading room. He just one of the things I'll tell people on a regular basis is don't chase the dog down the street. So if you had a hard time trading in chop suey, you know, the market's in a basically going back and forth and stuck in a range, this will eliminate that. Ooh, look at that. Down $100. Digging ourselves a hole there, folks. What's the market telling us? Breaking out of this pivot here. It's got a pivot high. The pivots are making higher lows. But I've got adverse price reaction. Okay? That's going to happen. You're going to see that happen. It sucks. I know it. But guess what? You put 1,000 people in the room and tell them to compete for money, this is what happens. Market structure's up. It just took out a major pivot up here. I got a pivot down here. I've got higher lows right here. It should be moving up. Does it always work? As you can see, no, it does not always work. Sometimes you will take some heat. Ray, it does for me. Ray is just a blessed child. Oh, Ray, you got burned today, huh? Down 240. Huh? It's all right, my man. We'll take a walk. Get yourself some breakfast. Come back. Watch what happens. Put yourself a new set, a new head on, man. Just go take a walk. Take the dog out. That's what I do. When I'm having a, like a bad morning, take like 3 hits in a row. Go take a walk. Get off the machine. I've done it for years. It really, really helps. You come back, you refocus. What I like to do is just not take a walk, but go to lunch, go get something to eat, so I'm like away from the machine for like at least an hour. And then I come back, my head's in a totally different place. Whoa. That's a little fast. All right, so we got our $100 back and we're up 80. What is that? That's the 9 o'clock open. You usually get some movement around 9 o'clock on the open. Hey now. What is that, 20? I don't want 21. Oh, we got 18 ticks. Basically, what we need, we're gonna need at least either two 5-tick winners or one runner. I'll speed this up and then we can go look at the slides because I know a lot of people are asking questions about how to get to the room. I'm a beginner, just starting out. I would like to start trading a simulation on NinjaTrader. What's the best way for me to get set up? Does NinjaTrader provide the basic beginning package? Where do I begin? What do I need to set up? Maureen, yeah, they have a great starter package where you can they'll actually give you free data. It's the CQG Continuum Client data, so it's real good data. I used them for years. It's really, really good. Pretty much, if you just go to Ninja's website, and then there's a couple of different ways that you sign up. Make sure that you want to subscribe to real-time data. They have an option there that says, would you like to have real-time data included in this setup? How long do you trade every day? Just 25 ticks. With this, I would just trade it for 25 ticks because sometimes, you start at 6:30, it's already 9:20, and you still haven't hit your goal. You've been doing it for 3 hours. I'm in here for 3 hours and I'm chasing 18 ticks, which, if you don't know what you're doing, you could easily be down, 30 or 40 ticks at this point. All right. Mr. Dean's on top of the technology. Thanks for the heads up, Dan. All right, I just want to see, we're going to get a break here in a second. See this pivot? This is wild swing. It's not a primary pivot, but it's an intermediate. It didn't take this out over here. See, I have an order stage down here from that pivot, but it never hit it. Right now, structure is higher lows. I just came back here, these two. I just made a higher high up here, and I've got higher lows, so the market wants to move up. When is it going to do it? Where's the best place to get in? Who the hell knows? I've been doing this for 30 years. I still don't know that answer. I buy breakouts. I buy pullbacks. You know, I'm looking for what we call a TED trade pullback, is where we get a bar where the price action will pull back to that green line. That's one of the setups inside the room. I'm a trend follower. I trade trends. You know, I trade in the direction of the trend. I did try counter trend trading earlier in my career. I pretty much put a hole in my head. You know, at least I thought I had a hole in my head for a while. All right, there's 23. So what do we got? We've got another setup at 28. See what it does. But it's going to run. I'll let it run. I'm not going to take it off just because it's. All right, boom, 330. So 33 ticks. And you had a profit in the beginning, and then you got sucked out on that one, so you went to break even, and then on the third trade, you actually were in the hole $100. So we came back from being in the hole $100 to up 33. All right, what's this all about? How do I get involved? I didn't even get into the money management stuff because it's something that I'll teach you in the room. But basically, you need to, once you understand the market structure, where the market's going, then you know you can put yourself on the right side of the market, and the majority of your trades will start. You'll have a better place. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you want to be on the side of the market, okay? And if you're doing pullbacks and you're on the right side, in other words, you're making higher lows and you're doing a pullback, that's a good thing, because you're not going to take a lot of heat in those trades when you put them on. It may go back a little bit on you, but you're not going to have any of these adverse price reactions against you. And anytime you get big price movements, okay, here's adverse price movement right here. See this market breaks out at 9 o'clock. I don't know what it was. 9 o'clock, must have hit some trigger, hedge fund trigger or something. Somebody ended up hitting the sell button, one too many times or something. I don't know. Something happened in there, but it wasn't Tom, Dick, and Harry pushing in their one lots, okay? And then the market returns to order, okay? This whole price move down, I don't get involved in any of that, because it's all of a sudden the market's got big breakout, and then the breakout it sucks out on the breakout and then re-enters the value area, okay? I don't want to trade in the value area. That's the worst place to be, because that's like going to the OK Corral and everybody's got their pistol out and they're trying to shoot each other. I don't like that. I don't want to get involved in that. That's just, to me, it's a dumb way to trade. All right. During this presentation, you learned a lot about scalping the market, if you want to call it scalping, but basically that's what we're doing. We're going in for 5 ticks, okay? $50 a contract, virtually on autopilot. You saw what was going on. Set the ATM up, let the market do all the work for you. is basically, you know, if I had a new student come in, they wanted to build their account up very slowly, this is what I would tell them to do. You know, don't try to be a discretionary trader overnight. It takes time. You need to sit in the room. You need to see what we do, follow what we do, and then you can start to widen your stops up, because then your targets are going to be much higher. Okay? Thank you. All right. So as you come into the room, you're going to grow as a trader. That's the whole purpose of being in there. I want to teach you how to fish so that you can, you know, feed your family. Okay? You want to stay in the room for a year? You know what? I'll tell you, there's two types of people. People come into the room, they learn everything they need to know, and then they're gone. Goodbye. You know, it's like, you know, thank you, got what I need, I'm out of here. And that's cool. No hard feelings. You know, there's a lot of people out there. Then there's a second type of person that says, you know what, I like hanging around Matt. He's funny, and trust me, we do have a lot of fun in the room. I mean, it's just, anything goes in that room. It's a lot of fun, and I do an open mic. So when you come into the room, you can turn your mic on, you can talk to me. You know, basically do anything. We cover a lot of different material. I apologize for that. I don't know who's calling right now. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. All right, why are my slides not moving? Next. Okay. I got it jammed. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. We got stuck. The subway trade is just the beginning. There's a method I use. It removes the training wheels and takes the strategy to a whole new level. And that's the purpose. This is stage one. Stage two, we start to use discretionary trading, and we have much higher targets, a wider stop. You know, you'll see this, because when you're doing breakout trades, you don't want to try to use a 5-tick stop when you're trying to gain a 50-tick move, okay? It's very difficult. It can be done, but it's very difficult, especially if your platform's not the fastest in the world. So that can be a real problem, trust me. There's people in the room that have been in the room, try to use different platforms, and their strategy's fine. They're just getting screwed by the platform. So, and that does happen. It takes time to figure that out, though. The reason I can figure that out is because I have my own platform. I'm sitting here and I'm seeing what's going on, and this isn't just something that happens, you know, once in a while. It's consistently happened. I'm seeing what's happened. I'm seeing how the orders are getting routed for these guys, and they're behind the 8 ball. You know, they're losing. I can't name any names, George, but you could be on the right path. We'll just say that. The subway trade is just the beginning. There's a method I use, removes the training wheels and takes a strategy to a whole new level. So that's basically what we're going at. I show you how to go from 5 ticks to 20 to 30 to even 40 ticks in a single trade. Some of the trades go higher than that. You know, I've had trades go 100 ticks. And these are breakout trades off of the trends. Using the same setup, okay, that I showed you, that's one of the setups. There's a couple of other setups that we use with those triggers in there, okay? And these will pinpoint areas that we'll do buy setups from, okay? So, all right, let's move on. I'm stuck again here. What's going on? There we go. Okay. Introducing Breakout Profit Pillars Live Online Trading Seminar. Okay, here's what's going to happen. On Saturday, April 11th, this month, 10 a.m., 1 p.m. Eastern, we're going to record the event. Okay? It will be a live event. You come to this event, I will go through everything in detail. We'll spend a lot of time on money management, so you can probably, we'll actually take some people that are in the room, take their trading setups, put them into I have a program, it's a money management program. It's an algorithm that can take the trades that they have, and it will basically dissect what they're doing, what their results are, so you can see what's going to happen to them long term. At this event, you'll get an in-depth training on what you've learned over the past 30 years in the market to be a successful trader. I boiled it down to 4 pillars to give you a rock-solid foundation for day trading. And this isn't CL. CL is my primary market, but you can use it in just about anything that's actively traded. Okay? Now, if you come to me and say you're trading December corn, I say, you know, we might have a problem. Okay? But if you're trading something that moves on a regular basis, this works. It works every time. And even if you are trading corn, okay, the structure that you saw on those lines, all of that works on any market, any time frame. You know, I might not trade some of the grain markets on a 1-minute chart because it might be a little bit of a liquidity issue. All right, so let's look at the pillars individually. To trade breakouts, you need to know the trend direction. You'll learn this. You'll learn how to easily identify the direction based on price pivot action. All right, how to plot the automatic using the zigzag indicator that you saw on the chart. Okay. Question is, you got to understand how the pivots work. Once you understand how the pivots work, you'll know how to use the calculation inside the zigzag. So if you just throw a regular zigzag up there, you're not going to see the same pivots. There's a structure to it. You need to understand that structure. We'll teach you that in the room. Reading the price flow indicator, that's the 22 moving averages on there. I didn't even get into the setups that are on there, but at least you get a chance to see what the order flow looks like. Okay? How to identify, how to definitively identify the trend. I'll go through and show you exactly how that works with the zigzag. So you'll never be stuck on the wrong side of the market. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to see adverse price reaction. We saw it today, you know, on CL yesterday morning. That stuff kind of happens out of the blue. So you don't have to trade it. It's just it happens to come in there, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just adverse price reaction. If you happen to be in a trade during the middle of it, you get stopped out. All right, pillar number 2, location. Now you've identified the trend. We'll use the price flow indicator to point exactly where the high percentage breakout trades will occur. This is where you get paid. So relax and wait. There's no shortage of breakout trades throughout the day. Okay? If I tell you one thing, listen to me. This thing trades, you can get a lot of trades off. Okay? If you're doing, you know, you saw 1-minute price action. I have people that trade this on range bars. Okay? They'll trade it from 9 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock, or 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and then from 1 o'clock to 2:30. You know? Because crude oil really moves from like 1:30 to 2:30. That's basically some of the best moves of the day. Yes, Chris, you can use it on the DAX. So there's no shortage of trades throughout the day. All right? You're trading active E-mini contracts that have a base of 25,000 contracts a day, then you're not going to have a problem finding trade setups. It would be like, you know, being in New York City and looking for a taxi in New York. You miss one, another one's going to come around every few minutes. So you don't have to worry about missing. If you miss a setup, don't chase it. That's what Alan said. Don't chase the dog down the street, because that dog's going to turn around and bite you right in the ass, just like a bad trade will. All right, how to spot high percentage breakout trades using the price flow indicator. The role volume plays when choosing to enter the trades or not. Now, when we came into the room, you saw my price charts. I'll point them out. They're volume-based bars, okay? So they're very different. Each bar is based on the volume. It's not just the price action, but the volume is implanted inside the bar. 3, I've been doing this for over 30 years, and more than anything else in the world, the lack of money management was caused traders to blow out their accounts and kiss their trading careers goodbye. I've seen it happen many, many times. It's ugly. I hate it. Some of these people I hate saying goodbye to, but I know they're going to be gone. They're done. They're not coming back, you know, and it's an ugly thing. Hey, Bill. Yeah, definitely see you next week. He's one of the regular room members. I'll say hi to Ted for you, too. If I teach you anything today, remember this. It's not whether you're right or wrong that's important. What's important is this. If you do anything, write this down. Put this on your forehead. Put it in your bathroom. Put it on the mirror. Put it everywhere. Okay? Think about this for a second. Read it in red. It's about how much money you make when you're right and how much money you lose when you're wrong. Okay? It's not about what your percentage of winning trades is. It doesn't matter. Okay? There are many days, and people in the room will tell you, I don't even make 50% winners on my breakout trades. Might be 45, might be 48, might be 41, 42, whatever. Okay? But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, I come out ahead. So the percentage of, if I just graded myself based on the winning percentage, okay, I'd say I'm a losing trader. You know, I'd say I'm a losing trader. You know, but if I risk $100, it's a loss. $100, it's a loss. $100, it's a loss. Okay, it's $300 a loss, right? Well, what happens on the next trade if I bank $700? Think about it. I'm up 400 for the day, and I've only won. I'm winning 25% of the time. See, too many people put too much emphasis on, you know, I got to be right. I got to be right. I got to be right. You learn that stuff from college. That's just something you dragged over from the education system. You know, where they told you, hey, if Johnny wants to get LAs and get straight A's and get a 4.0, he's got to be right 95% of the time. Try doing that in this business. You get your head handed to you. You think I'm wrong? Step on in the ring. You'll find out real fast. There's nobody out there making 90% winners. I can guarantee you that. At this seminar, you'll learn how to cut your losses short and how to let your runners run. That part alone is worth the price of admission. Because if you take small stops, okay, a lot of times in the room, I won't even take a 5-tick stop. It'll be like 2 or 3. So when I get a breakout, I want the thing to run right away. If it's not running, guess what? See ya. Kiss you goodbye, man. It's how fast I am on the trigger. People in the room know that. They see it every day. You can use a 10-tick stop if you want to. You'll probably have a higher success rate than I will. But guess what? I won't have as big of a hole to dig myself out of as you will. See, that's the difference. Everything in trading is a trade-off. If you take away one thing, you gain something in it. If you give away something, you'll get something. But if you take away something, guess what? You got to get back. You know, you want a higher winning percentage? Guess what? Lower profits. It's all give and take. It's all give and take. You'll learn this. The money management will teach you this. All right. Understanding R multiples, understanding position size, using the TraderX position size algorithm that runs off of an Excel sheet. Come into the trading room. I will give you this Excel sheet. You will learn things about trading that will stun you. You'll understand why you were consistently losing money, you know, time and time again. It literally shows you this. Okay? Mentoring. This is where the rubber meets the road. First three pillars, direction, location, management, are not exactly rocket science. You can learn them all from a $20 book. And I can give you, you can go out and buy a book. It's called Trend Following. Read everything in it. It's a great book. Michael Culver wrote it years ago. Okay? It'll teach you everything about successful traders, what they do, how they do it. Problem is, you'll never, you know, just the book, reading the book alone is not going to ensure your success. You won't get successful out of it. I'll prove that to you in a second. You probably have a dozen books or courses on how to trade, but don't, you know, but not one of them can teach you how to be a successful trader. Only way you learn how to be a good trader is by working with someone who's already doing it. You get that? Think about it. For thousands of years, people have been learning things as what? As an apprentice, okay? You think a mason starts out laying brick? No, he's mixing cement. And he's probably not even mixing the cement. He's probably unloading the truck with all the supplies. They're not going to let that guy lay brick. He's got to work his way up. He's got to learn every different facet of the business before he can start to do it on his own. Which is why when you sign up for the Breakout Profits Pillar Seminar, I'm including the 90 days of my trend trading room. All right, come into the room. This is where you're going to learn it all. I'll go through it. I am not a dictator. I don't sit in there and talk all day long. I invite people to come in. We talk. We converse. They have questions. I have answers. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not complicated stuff. This is not your ordinary trading room. I've mentioned that before. It is not. It's not like any other trading room out there. I can guarantee you that because I converse with people. I talk to people. We joke. We laugh. We cuss. We do all kinds of stuff. We're real traders. If you were to go down to the floor 5 years ago and see what kind of crazy it is, that's kind of what it's like in our room. Okay? I'm not here to blow smoke up your you-know-what and tell you it's all sunshine and rainbows because it ain't. This is the greatest business in the world once you learn how to do it. But getting there, you're going to have to walk through trader's hell before you're going to get there. And if you go to the room, you won't have to go through there. There's nothing worse than falling into a black hole, thinking that you've got this market figured out and you figured out how to trade, only to find out that you're in a black hole. And believe me, you're going to fall into a lot of black holes in this business. You don't learn to ride a bike from reading a book or watching a video. Okay? What do? Fall on your ass, scrape your knees, and then you get up, get help from someone who's willing to teach you. Usually a grown-up, right? Somebody that knows how to ride a bike. Okay? In the end, you learn by doing it. The mentor-apprentice relationship has proven over thousands of years. It's the difference between winners and losers in the market. People that can do their job successfully because somebody taught them how to do it who was already doing it, you know. If you think that you're learning from an expert, you better find out if that expert knows what they're talking about, you know. Just don't take anybody's word in this business. You'll learn the hard way. If you do, it'll cost you money, you know. When you get tired of pulling out your wallet and burning out C-notes and having smoking up the credit card, you know, so somebody wants to charge you to get involved, then you start to learn. I put this together today. You can take these concepts, take them into the marketplace, make some money. Make some money coming to the room, you know. Or you can just jump in the room. We'll give you a special price and learn it from the ground up. Save yourself the money of going out and making bad trades. Okay? Yesterday I had over almost $600 in losing trades. Okay? $600 in losing trades. You know? Think about that for a second. And if you're trading, that's 2 contracts. Okay? It's not like I'm trading 10, 20s. 2 contracts. $600 in loss. Here we go. So the seminar is going to be Saturday, April 11th, 2015, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay? It's a Saturday. You can relax. Put your slippers on, put your PJs on, get your coffee, just sit there. Want to take notes? Take notes. It'll be recorded. You know, you won't have to worry about catching anything. But if you want to be cozy after a big breakfast, sit down and, you know, we'll get started. I'll go through and I'll show you how you can take information and tools, come forth the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that week, and you'll be able to make money. Okay? Am I guaranteeing you success? No. Okay? Just like I can't guarantee that you're not going to go get in your car and get into an accident next week. I don't know that. You know, if I'm sitting there trading with you side by side, then I have some idea of what you're doing. But I'm here to help you be one of the winners. Okay? We're going to turn the seminar into a course, and we plan on selling it for $597 on the Winvesting site. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to limit this to 25 people so I can make sure everyone's questions are answered and I can give you everyone personalized attention. Sure, we can put 150, 200 people in the room, but what kind of service, what kind of education is that going to be for you? You know, you're not going to get the, you know, I've done a lot of real-time seminars like in Vegas, and we would limit it to 25 people because they get a lot more out of it when you limit the room. And then I bring them into the room. I like having 25 people come into the room so that it's not a process of, you know, 6 months down the road, hey, we got everybody on the same page. You know, no, I don't want to do that. If I keep it small, then I can control it. I can help you get to where you need to go. And that's the whole purpose of it. Personalized attention. I'm very big on that. You'll find that out in the room. I don't like, you know, I don't like when you lose, okay? You'll hear me when I'm in trades. I get pissed enough. I don't like when other people lose, you know? If you're not one of the first 25, you won't be able to attend live. We'll be able to have the recordings available 4 to 6 weeks. You'll still get 90 days in the trend trading room. Okay? So when you sign up, you get access. Courses created out of the recordings along with some of the extra bonuses I'm putting together that will be announced in the event. One of them is going to be the Trader X Excel sheet. So here's what it is. $297. You can register it at winvesting.com/PPP. And, you know, if you're trading 2 contracts at E-minis per day, you're going to spend $300 and you're going to burn through that kind of commissions. Not every day, because once you hit your target, obviously you're going to be done. But if you start off at a rough patch and you've got a drawdown in the morning, it's very easy to burn up $300 in commissions. Especially if you're doing 4 contracts or more. So I'm going to do a money-back guarantee on this. No BS, action guarantee. Attend the seminar, watch the recordings. Trade E-mini, CL. All right, in the room, 3 weeks. Over the next 3 months, 90 days, use a strategy at the seminar starting with 5,000 real-time or simulated. I don't care if you're not ready to trade real money. That's fine. Do it in the sim account. After 90 days, if you've not generated at least $1,000 in real-time or simulated prospects, show us a proof you took all the actions above. We'll fully refund your investment in the seminar. And there's all 4 of the pillars. Again, it's not rocket science. Most traders fail because they have only 1, 2, or 3 of the pillars in place, which creates an unstable structure that's doomed to collapse. If you have a rock-solid foundation, then you can build an account with confidence. So come out to the event. Join me Saturday, April 11th, 2015, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I will take you through all the material. Again, here's the price. Here's the link. Chris, if you want to just join the trading room, you can do that. You can get with Dan at Winvesting. Just email Dan, and then he can give you the links for that. Yeah, Vicky, we'll definitely have it. If you're not available on the 11th, you can get the recording. How can you join? If you go to that link right there, Ted, yes, you can come in there too. Click on that link, winvesting.com/PPP. That'll get you to sign up. If you're just interested in the trading room, you want to come to the trading room, you can do that. You'll need to get with Dan. And Dan's, all you have to do is when you go to the Winvesting site, you'll be able to get the email address right off of there. So with that, I want to say thank you for coming out to the Profit Pillars Breakout Strategy. I would love to see you guys in there, April 11th, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there, ready to go. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Thanks for coming out today. Again, I appreciate your time, and I hope that was of value too. So I look forward to seeing you guys Saturday, April 11th. All right? Take care, guys.